That's right, Barbara. We're told a gun violence prevention group has scheduled a vigil here for 7 o'clock at the Greenbrier Walmart. They say that mental health professionals will be on site, so they're inviting the public to that vigil at 7 o'clock. You can see behind me a growing memorial. It's been here throughout the day, and just a little bit ago, we saw a small group in a circle praying for the victims here. I also talked with a former employee of this Walmart, as well as customers, innocent customers who were in here last night when this tragedy happened. Elsie Delgado choked up when thinking about the horror inside Walmart. She was shopping with her 8-year-old daughter.
I was trying to check out, and when he started firing, I kind of ducked down with my daughter. There was another lady beside me. And when I saw that there was no shooting towards her side, I took my daughter and ran out as the guy was still shooting.
Just 2 days before Thanksgiving, Chesapeake police say there were about 50 people inside the store at the time. One of them was Marissa Miller.
I took off my shoes so they couldn't hear me moving, and I ran to the men's clothing section and got hid under where the jeans were. If they had seen me and knew that I was sitting there watching them the whole time, they probably would have shot me.
7 people were killed, including the gunman who police identified as 31-year-old Andre Bing of Chesapeake. I talked with a Chesapeake woman who did not want to be identified, but she said she worked at this Walmart for about 13 years and knew the alleged gunman. She now drives for a rideshare company and was actually trying to bring a passenger to the store when they saw the chaos.
At first, I thought it was just a shooting outside the parking lot, gang-related, but I didn't know it was my former employees until later.
As news of the tragedy spreads throughout the world, Virginia residents are stopping by to give their condolences and offer support, including prayer warrior Jeannie Griffith.
My heart just broke, and I just felt an overwhelming urge from the Lord that I had to be out here to pray for people, whether it be in a college campus, whether it be at a bar somewhere. Wherever the tragedy happens, we're all connected.
And you know, she talks about being connected. I used to be living just about 5 minutes from here, certainly not something I would ever imagine happening in the Greenbrier area. And Barbara and Kurt, I imagine in the days to come, this will become even more heartbreaking, more real as we learn more about these victims here. Well, Pari, it is a somber mood out here tonight. I'm being kind of quiet out of respect for the family and friends that are right behind me. I'm going to step out of the way. You can see they are gathered here saying prayers, leaving flowers and balloons for these victims. And as this happens today, many law enforcement still out here working the scene. So while many of us are sitting down giving thanks, please remember these families in your thoughts and prayers, as their lives will never be the same. On this Thanksgiving Day, we saw people stopping by the makeshift memorial outside Walmart, which has grown. I talked to a couple of lawmakers who took time away from their families to address their grieving community. State Senator L. Louise Lucas of Portsmouth got a bit emotional as she described the overwhelming response while she was out shopping for some last-minute Thanksgiving items.
Everybody who approached me, the first thing out of their mouth was, mass shootings has to come to an end.
On the national front, Thanksgiving morning, President Biden met with first responders in Kentucky and vowed to make a renewed effort to ban assault weapons.
Because of what's happened in just the last 2 weeks, I think there will be a lot of people who will be interested in supporting legislation that we might be moving forward with. But right now, nothing's been filed, but I'm fairly certain that there will be bills filed because I personally intend to file some.
Senator Lucas told me that Walmart executives reached out to her about their resource center for associates and talked about beefing up their vetting process. Meanwhile, investigators are doing what they can to answer the many questions that remain. It appears they are being thorough. We even saw FBI agents gathering trash cans in the parking lot. And here in the parking lot of Walmart in Chesapeake, family and friends are gathered here behind me. Absolutely just heartbreaking to see them. My colleague Kelsey Jones will have much more on that this evening, and we'll check back in with you at 6 o'clock. Live in Chesapeake, Angela Bohon, News 3. Pari, Jessie Wilczewski said she just started this job about 5 days before this tragedy, and though it's been about a week, she says it's been a pure nightmare, and she did graciously invite us into her home to talk about this.
It'll fade, you know, but it's still there, you know, the noises and the faces changes you know what I mean? Like to the core, for real. It changes you.
Jessie Wilczewski is a first-time mom who is excited about taking a job at Walmart. But 5 days into the job, she witnessed the unimaginable.
You just hear rings. You feel it. It vibrates. And I'm just watching his shoes. Just watching his shoes. And then he leaves.
The gunman came back and showed her mercy, something this mother says she's still trying to comprehend.
He had the gun pointed at me. And then he pointed up at the ceiling and he told me, Jessie, go home. I came home and I cut my clothes off. I cut my clothes off my body because I was so scared. I had blood and everything on me, and I couldn't even touch my son until I did that because I didn't feel clean.
Wilczewski says since she was new, she barely knew her coworkers, but didn't want to leave them in their final moments at the hands of their manager.
This was somebody who was supposed to lead us through the night, somebody we were supposed to freaking trust.
Wilczewski told me that she is getting counseling, and we talked about taking it one day at a time.
Mentally, this has been a nightmare. And I know I'm not the only one going through it. I know that. I don't want to be stuck like this, afraid of everything, afraid of coming out my front door.
And we wish her the best. I did reach out to Walmart. A representative told me that they are helping the families, and they're also talking with associates about when would be the appropriate time to reopen the store. And Pari, also Wilczewski, told me that she's going to try to muster the strength to come out here to this vigil to show her support.
Truck after truck just coming in, and these tremendous workers in the back at Walmart, just pallet after pallet, packing trucks up incredibly efficiently. Whatever they had that we needed, we got.
The nonprofit organization, The Noblemen, is known for spreading holiday cheer to children in need. Their volunteers jumped at the chance to unload 4 trucks filled with everything from shoes to diapers and baby formula.
We don't know how it's going to work out yet, but with all our partners in town, we can make sure that these boots and these things that were donated by Walmart get used for a good cause. Let's take something that happened bad and turn it into something good. How about that?
Walmart donated hundreds of boots, as you can see, but this is the first time the Noblemen say they have anything other than toys to give away. This year, plenty of undergarments for children, but of course, still a wide variety of toys.
And these toys are just awesome.
Lynette Royce has spent many Christmases watching the joy in children's eyes as they receive a toy. This year, though, is especially bittersweet. Royce was invited into the Chesapeake Walmart to accept the toys.
It was sad. It was honestly sad. I walked in to get my sticker and I walked back out. You just feel kind of a sad aura in the store, you know. But there were lots of people in there working. You know, those people have put their feelings aside to go in there and do good. Just about everything was gone, even the displays.
The Noblemen will start passing out the presents next week.
It makes all of our Christmas, really. Because they're kind. I have 3 kids, and all 3 of my kids have been doing it since they were tiny, and they say this is what makes their Christmas.
It's just it's an impressive operation, and I can't thank them enough for putting smiles on so many faces, not only the kids' faces, but our faces, for being able to offer this to them.
In Virginia Beach, Angela Bohon, News 3.